Hi, my name is Chloe Ronay, and for this Opus visual podcast, we'll be getting up close and personal with the 24th annual Eastside Culture Crawl. This beloved arts festival began in 1997 with a handful of buildings in Strathcona. It has since grown to include more than 500 artists, craftspeople, and designers, all opening their studios to the public. Normally held over the course of one riotous weekend, this year's event has had to make changes in order to adapt to the challenges brought on by COVID-19. Round-the-block queues and busy cramped corridors will be replaced with virtual studio tours, live-stream demonstration, and appointment-based visits. Whilst this might be an adjustment, the enhanced digital presence and customizable engagement will allow an unprecedented amount of both long-time fans and first-time visitors access across the Pacific Northwest and beyond. On offer, an even more intimate, exclusive connection with artists and their art promises to make this year's crawl an inspiring, uplifting, and unifying experience. To showcase some of what's going on, we invited a dozen artists to tell us a bit about themselves, their work, and what they have planned.
Hi, I'm Sonya Iwasiuk, and I'm a mixed media artist in Vancouver. And I use acrylics as my base, and I explore many different mediums in my artwork. I experiment so much, and I have lots of different series, so I go from figurative all the way to landscape, and I have acrylic wall hangings and rusted metal pieces with mixed media and plaster pieces, sculptural pieces, so it's really all over the place. So for this year's crawl, like usual, I really hope, of course, to make connections, but I really look forward to everything that the people say about my work. It really keeps me going, just hearing all the positive feedback. And of course, I hope to sell some pieces as well, like everybody does, but just all the great feedback and connections made are really such a great thing with every crawl.
My name is Tinghoos, and I live in Vancouver, British Columbia. I am an artist that I deal mainly in painting and printmaking. My painting is oil on canvas, and I've been exploring in the last couple of years with acrylic on panel with resin finish. My printmaking is dealing with lino, collagraphs, etchings, but my main medium, I would have to say, is painting. Well, this year is definitely unique. So it's not going to be like the past years where we just have open doors and people are freely coming in and out. So it will be different, and I'm embracing this new technology that Eastside Culture Crawl is asking us to use. I'm looking forward to doing it and coming forward with like what's happening in the world today and being modern, because I'm quite old school in some ways.
Hi, my name is Ravi Vergara. I am a screen printing artist based in East Vancouver, and I've been screen printing here for about 10 years now. So my work is primarily on fabric. I print t-shirts. I create collage art out of existing images, mostly vintage drawings, and I create new art based on my punny sense of humor and surreal creatures that I dream up. And the idea is to create wearable art. I normally welcome thousands of people here into my studio because I'm in one of the high traffic buildings in the Eastside Culture Crawl. So this year, unfortunately, because our building is so large, we are not allowing visitors. I think I'm going to focus more on the online presence, which is something that I normally neglect this time of year because I'm so focused on the physical markets. So this year will be a little bit of a challenge for me to get my virtual game on.
My name is Jessamyn Box, and I'm an abstract painter. My studio is at Parker Street in Vancouver. In a few words, I would say my work is definitely abstract, colorful. I like to say whimsical and fun, but hopefully engaging as well at the same time. I use a whole whack of materials. I go from latex and acrylic paint. I use charcoal. I use spray paint, pastel, crayon, pencil, and pen. This year, the appointments at Parker Street will be appointment only, of course, in-studio appointments. So I'm hoping to meet a fair number of people over the next few weekends, starting on the 14th of November. I'm doing a Twitch live stream, which I've never done before. Should be interesting. That will be on the weekend, 14th, 15th, and 21st and 22nd of November, from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m.
My name is Kayan Hamadeh. I'm a 24-year-old self-taught mixed media artist based out of Vancouver, BC. My work is inspired by the concept of culture and the exploration of the different subcultures that have influenced my own sense of identity through themes of racial identity, gender empowerment, music, fashion, pop culture as well. COVID has been quite difficult for all of us artists to show our stuff this year, so this is the only time I'll be able to do that. It's going to be a great event. I hope people show up, and I can't wait to show my stuff.
I'm Sonia Mostic. I tend to be a realist, and I paint with the medium of watercolor to capture my story and my emotional feelings of different events, as well as landscapes and portraiture too. It's my first time with the crawl, and so my idea was to get my feet wet, introduce myself to the crowd, and allow them to be able to experience my type of art and share in the opportunity with Portside Studio. We are one that has at least 20 artists in the building that's just not going to be able to do it in a regular crawl way. So we are going live through Twitch. I will have a couple of demos on the 2 weekends, and I'll try and actually go live as many times during the weeks as I can.
My name is Sara Molcan. My studio is part of the Arts Factory here in Vancouver. In my work, I address how we curate ourselves online, relationship gameplay in the age of social media, and whether or not we own our digital identities. I do this predominantly through painting oversized selfies with film still captions and iMessage conversations. I use images of myself as a means to enter this conversation, both because I exist as a millennial online and because I believe fat women deserve representation in contemporary art. This will be my 5th crawl, and I've never been as genuinely excited as I am for this year. Most of my audience is outside of the Lower Mainland thanks to the internet, so this gives me the opportunity to share this unique experience with them like never before. I also hope that I have a chance to connect with people in Vancouver who haven't been able to visit every building or make it out every year. Being able to explore the crawl from your couch is making the event so much more accessible, so I'm open to all the possibilities an event like this can bring.
My name's Asai. I am based in North Vancouver. I'm a huge lover of sports and film, currently it's the subject matter of most of the pieces that I currently put together. It's kind of interesting right now. I'm in a point of transition here where I used to focus solely on acrylics, but I'm transitioning right now to more mixed media collage type pieces. This will be sort of the benchmark for me in terms of going through the culture crawl. So it'll be interesting to see how it evolves and develops, having to deal with these interesting protocols and procedures. Really, I'm looking forward to the experience, the journey, and just hope that everyone has a good couple weeks here.
My name is Tiffany Blas. I'm a visual artist, so I paint landscapes out of oil and watercolor in a contemporary style. My artistic process is kind of a journey rooted in thoughts and nature. So I love to travel and capture the landscapes that I experience in different places. This year, although it's going to be a little bit different and more focused on a virtual experience, I'm hoping to still connect with other artists and art lovers. And I'm kind of optimistic and looking forward to the pre-booked studio appointments, which I think will allow a little bit more focused time to spend time with each visitor in my studio. My name's Laurie Goldberg. I was born and raised in Vancouver, and I'm known as a painter and educator, and I brought those two areas together in the last 5 years, creating socially engaged projects in different parts of the world. My most recent one was in Mexico, where I worked with 150 11 to 13-year-olds and created an installation using their single-use plastic. My work points to the precarious relationship between humans and our environment and how we develop and alter nature. I also create these beautiful spots and disrupt it with something like grid lines. This crawl is definitely unprecedented, and I saw it as being an interesting opportunity to learn new ways of presenting my work. There's an opportunity to engage other people outside of Vancouver to see what artists are up to.
My name is Michal Tkachenko, and I'm a visual artist, mostly painter and drawer. I've been doing a series of self-portraits called Metalhead. They're based on an accident I was in when I was 18 years old and had my whole face and half my skull smashed in, and then it was reconstructed, and I have 3 plates in my face. I also have lived in the UK for 13 years and spent a lot of time painting the Suffolk landscape. I started thinking about our place there. I've always been fascinated by miniatures. I became, in the beginning of COVID, really obsessed with dollhouses. And then I thought, why not link that with the fact that everyone is stuck at home and take the house, which reminds me of this place I've lost, and somehow combine the two. I'm still working through the theme of what I am going to do with them. And that's my current work. This year, you'll be able to log on to my catalog online and see some of my 2D work and see me live in the studio when I'm there.
So my name is Lauren Morris. I'm originally from South Africa and I'm now living in Vancouver. So I do acrylic on canvas. I used to do very large pieces, and I do mainly flowers. In an abstract form. I think my emphasis is more on color. So color has always been important to me because it's something that draws me in and layering my work. And I think I'm originally a graphic designer. And so there's a lot of graphic design in my work. I see things in a certain way. Well, this year's Culture Crawl is very different, as we know. So I've tried a new series where I want people to feel, warm and comforted and good and feel, because with what's going on in the world today, we need something to brighten up their lives. So that's my hope, that the people will come then, when they leave, they'll feel like, they'll feel happy. And that's what I try to sort of get through to people.
There is so much more to discover. Painters, jewelers, sculptors, furniture makers, weavers, potters, printmakers, photographers, glassblowers. From emerging artists to those internationally established, all representing the beating heart of East Van creativity. No matter where you are, I hope you're inspired to check out this year's event, November 12th to 15th and 19th to 22nd, Thursday and Friday, 5 p.m. to 10 p.m, and Saturday and Sunday, 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. More info about virtual studio tours, live stream and live chat functions is available within each artist's profile page at culturecrawl.ca. Let's join forces, together, to celebrate and support the resilience of our visual arts community.